The state's top cop has admitted the spike in Sydney's drive-by shootings is worrying people, including him. Police Commissioner Andrew Scipione sat down with reporter Robert Avadia, opening up about the crime wave and the gangs who think it's cool.
I can understand the public outrage. Clearly, we get frustrated.
If your family lived on a street that had been shot up a number of times, what would your perception be?
If I was in a situation like that, I would certainly be not feeling easy in my street, and that's the reality of life. That's what I'm saying. Perception is all about what's happening in your mind, and at this stage, we have seen a spike, and so I can understand people being concerned.
Police Commissioner Andrew Scipione in the firing line over gangs and guns.
Why are there so many guns on the streets you police?
We have had to endure robberies where firearms have been stolen from security guards, stolen from premises, from gun shops, from gun clubs. But that's going to continue.
That's not the big problem, though. It's at our borders, isn't it?
Firearms predominantly used in this type of crime are handguns. Those guns are not made in Australia. They are mainly imported from overseas.
What do you say to Julia Gillard about the importation of guns into this country?
No, this is a toxic problem. It is happening. That's the elephant in the room, I think, in some quarters, is that perhaps it's not a problem. Well, from my perspective, I can tell you it's a problem.
And then there are the people firing them, an Americanisation of youth culture, the Commissioner says.
Gun crime is acceptable, it's cool, it's you know, it's the sort of thing that you do. That's problematic, and that's why, again, we need to do all we can to make sure that we stop these guns getting here.
That's crime, but what about punishment? Police are confident they'll crack the spike in gun violence, but often the Commissioner feels the courts do not back them up.
Police do get frustrated, but I think that's part of the process. I got frustrated 32 years ago when I started doing this.
Do you still get frustrated?
Well, I do. I've got to tell you, I do.
Not just over law and order, he says, but social decay.
It does break my heart.
2 weeks ago, police rounded up underage teenagers in the city. The response from their parents was astounding.
Their parents didn't care enough to even come and collect them, let alone did they know where they were. Heaven help those young people, those kids. What does their future look like?
Well, should there be a curfew, is there any excuse you can think of for a 14-year-old to be on George Street in the city at 2 in the morning?
Certainly, from my perspective, I think we need to get the fundamentals right, and the fundamentals in this case is we need to get as many parents as we can parenting.